Boris, what do you think of Aussie Villain at Bala Town?
Yes, well, I think it is just brill when people from the colonies come back to Britain and help us drive this great country of ours forwards. And I wish Mr. Villain all the best, finest of British in his endeavours at Bala Town, there in another colony of ours that is, of course, Wales. Now, you will have to excuse me, I'm sorry, as I am meeting Jeremy Corbyn for a lager at the local socialist club. Pardon? Yes, that's what I said, the local social club. Toodaloo. Hi guys, I'm Aussie Villain. Welcome to episode 2 of The Impossible Dream with Bala Town as we look to win the Champions League for the club. It's a long way off right now though. But since last episode, we've played a few games. Things are going well. We'll catch up on that in just a second. But we have made a couple of signings. We've got 2 in, 1 out. Kieran Smith has left us. He's gone off to Chester in, I think, where are they? Vanarama National, I think. Or are they down to the Vanarama North? Anyway, he left on a free. We've just got the wages off the books there. But we have made 2 signings. First up here, it's Callum Preston. And I think we've accidentally signed ourselves a better goalkeeper than Ashley Morrison. Is it Morris? Ashley Morris. He's really good. He's only 23. Potentially he can go to be a 5-star goalkeeper. We're paying him £170 a week. We got him as a cup goalkeeper, but I think he might actually be more than that. He's only, as I said, only 23. He's a good 11 years or so younger than Morris. So I think by the end of this year, moving into next year, he'll actually replace him. A lot of 8s and 9s here as well. So he's just a point or two of attribute points, I should say, off looking like a much better goalkeeper. So really happy to get him in. And like I say, he might even be a #1 goalkeeper now. Morris hasn't done anything wrong, so he's sort of got the shirt right now. And the other side, we've got another one I'm actually really excited about is Ryden Williams, I think you pronounce it. A good young right back, potentially again could be a 5-star player for us. Relatively good physically, maybe a little bit slow and a little bit weak, but not too bad. Mentally, he's pretty good. As I said, he's only 19. We're paying him £5 a week right now, so we're paying him absolutely nothing. Decent enough defensively, positioning's good as well, which is nice. And he's not the worst getting forward. I mean, he's not great, but he's not the worst. So again, I think we've got a really good young right back there for only £5 a week. Now, Mark did suggest 2 players to look at to get in on loan. First up was Jan Dander, a name that may be familiar to some of us. Unfortunately for us, he did go off to Northampton. They wanted £2 a week. That is pretty much our entire wage budget. So that unfortunately was not able to happen. And the other one, whose name escapes me, was a left back from Southampton, Vulcans, I think it was. I'm trying to think top of my head now, which is never a good idea. Vulcans. You know where he's on my shortlist. Hang on, let's go back to my shortlist. I have shortlisted him. No, got to go to scouting for that, don't we? Look at the professionalism here. If we take it off players that are interested, that gives you a clue. He wasn't interested. He is listed. Oh no, he's not listed for loan, but he is available for loan. He's on £1 a week right now. I don't know if we could have got him for nothing, but we can't scout him, and it wasn't something that was going to happen. He wasn't particularly interested in joining us. So we're on the short list, both those guys. Thank you for the suggestion, Mark. And if you do have anybody else has any suggestions, by all means, let me know in the comments. But yeah, the window is closed now in any case, and we kind of are where we are. Anyway, guys, let's have a look at what's happened since last episode. We've got the league season underway. I should say this episode we're playing TNS, our first look at the new Saints, and we're also going to play Penybont before that. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's probably not. But let's have a look at how we've got in the league since obviously last episode. We got underway at Cardiff Met Uni. We opened the scoring midway through the first half when Spittle picked out the run of Hayes with what was definitely not a punt forward, and Hayes finished expertly. And we doubled our lead 5 minutes later, Leslie picking up a loose ball and powering in a shot. So there we go, a good solid win on the road. We were amazing in the first half. We kind of saw out the second half a little bit, let them back into the game ever so slightly. But 2 decent goals, 3 points on the board. What a way to start the season. Next up, we played Siphon Druids. We got the only goal of this one early. Molyneux picking out Horwood's run to perfection. Caffin Druids? No idea. I'm going to... Sorry, Welsh people. I am going to mispronounce every name that there just about is in the game. We were dominant in this game without the goals. Look at that. 26 shots on goal, 12 on target. and, you know, we only managed the one. But Evan Horwood got himself underway. It was a really good goal as well. Perfectly picked out, wasn't it, by Molyneux. Really, really happy with that. Another 3 points on the board. We move on. Next up was Newtown. We got gifted an early lead when Horwood's cross was finished well by the Newtown defender. And we secured the points on the hour mark. Horwood again with the cross. This time it was Molyneux on the end. So we struggled a little bit in this one. We did get the result. We got another clean sheet, which is nice. An own goal and Molyneux with the goals. You can see there we were the better team, but I wouldn't say it was the worst performance I think that we'd put in so far. So that was a little bit frustrating. But again, 3 points on the board. Who's complaining? Next up, we played Airbus, I think it was. We got the only goal of this one in first half stoppage time. Mike Hayes latching onto a defensive clearance and finishing past the keeper. So a game that we dominated, really. We were the better team, and again, we played well without the goals, which is slightly concerning. Being a part-time club, we only have so much time we have in training to do things. We have done a little bit of chance conversion work this week, but yeah, we'll just have to kind of see how that goes. But again, we got 3 points. We got a clean sheet. We're looking solid. If we go and have a look at what all that means for the league table, we're high-flying on top, just ahead of Barrytown on goal difference. But the big news here, the New Saints, they're really, really struggling. They're only on 4 points from 5 games, so we have a game in hand on them as well. We're in a situation now where we could lose to them when we play them, and we can still, for the rest of the season, and we are still potentially top of the table. Obviously, if we lose to them, we're going to have to take points elsewhere. But ourselves and Barrytown have got a nice little 5-point gap on top of the rest of the league. We got Siffin Druids, or Caffin Druids, or however you say that, in the third round of the Welsh League Cup. That's not for a little while to come yet. But today, we're essentially playing two struggling teams. The New Saints, which let's enjoy saying that, and Penybont, who are, of course, as you can see there, got 4 and 3 points between them. So let's have a look at what we're expecting here from Penybont. We are at home for this one. We are in excellent form. They are not so much. We're up against a Reece Griffith coached team. They're a direct, balanced style of play. We haven't got ourselves any data analysis facilities yet, so we go into these games a little bit blind. And let's have a look at the team that we're sending out. Now, there is I think it's a debut. Yeah, it is a debut coming in here for Williams at right back, but Morris continues in goal until he does sort of something wrong. I'm not going to take the shirt away from him. We've got to have an under-19 player on the bench there as well. It's Horwood, it's Jones, Spittle, and Williams, as I said, it's making his debut at right back. Burke, it's Leslie, Henry Jones. Mendez comes in the midfield for this one. That is because Grosset has just picked up a little bit of a knock. So he's not available for this one. He should hopefully be back for the second game. And Molyneux will continue down the right wing. Hayes continues up front. He's banging in the goals, so we're going to keep going with him. And here we go. It's more or less matching up. We've just got Burke in a little bit more of a defensive position there, but it's embarrassing to say we're more defensively lined up than they are, isn't it? But we know that we can get forward. They've got a debutant there in midfield as well. It'll be interesting to see how Williams does. He's not particularly matched up. Neither is Mendez. I haven't yet figured out the best way to get the bench players game time because they're not really able to play in the youth team unless there's a friendly. What do we want to say to this? We're on a good run. Keep it going. Johnny Mullins says, give them a morale boost. Sure, you can do to keep this run going, boys. It is going okay. I mean, the goals aren't as often as I perhaps would like, but we're getting the job done, which is all we can really ask for. I just want to quickly say too, it's been a little bit crazy. The Bala Club, the official Twitter account, has been retweeting me. So if you are finding the series and you're an actual Bala Town fan, welcome. Let me know all you can about the club. You can Google only tells you so much, doesn't it? So yeah, it's just really neat to have the actual club not on board, but aware of the series, I guess, which is really cool. And if you are new, please do subscribe as well, and of course like the video, comment. All that helps sort of Google know that this is a series that is worth them promoting. It's bouncing around in there and it's hacked clear. We are the red team, aren't we? Yeah. There we go. Come on, boys. Demand more. Why are we looking nervous all of a sudden? They're back on YouTube and they're looking nervous. This has not been a problem that we've had so far this season. Yeah, that was not great, was it? Very, very minimal highlights. We're going to be aggressive here and try and get them back into a little bit of order here. So got some stressed out players. Don't worry, boys. You're fine. Let's maybe calm. You're fine. No, that's not working either. So we've got to keep an eye on Burke and Jones. Which isn't great. The captain and the vice captain are the ones that are looking stressed out. So we're going well. do we want to change anything? The fact they're sort of a direct team, I don't want to push the lineup too far. Let's show some passion here, boys. Come on, this is ridiculous. I do wonder if we maybe want to change, maybe stick Henry a little bit further forward. It just isn't working right now. There's nothing happening. Let's try exploit the flanks. Let's try that. Let's try a little bit more expression. We don't want to counter press if they're a direct team. I really don't want to go much higher up the pitch. Let's try getting stuck in though. We don't have too much by way of subs to change things particularly either. Can we give it a get creative? We are going to have to try and change something here though, aren't we? Let's go attacking. And we can't have our first drop points of the year be against this mob, surely. Here we go with Burke. Lumps one over there. Here's our new boy, Williams at right back. He gets past. He has a shot. Oh, it's off the crossbar. What a way to introduce yourself that would have been. Let's go with show some passion. We're going to have to change something here, though, isn't it? Because it's just not working. Can Burke play further forward? Not particularly. Let's stick Jones up in a number 10 role. Let's get Hayes going as maybe just an advanced forward. And let's take Burke off. Let's bring on Pearson. It will be, first appearance. Oh, no, he has played before. He hasn't played much under me. We'll go as a ball-winning midfielder. We'll stick him just as a sort of more defensively minded player there. What can Mendes get forward a little bit more? He's a ball winner as well. I wonder if we need a Cariello, someone to bring the ball out of defense for us. Now that we don't have Burke there as well. What else can we do? We're really lacking a right winger. I'd really like to get a right winger in actually, so we could get sort of more width. Obviously, Molyneux is a inverted winger. He's left-footed, so yeah, that might be something I'd like to do in the next transfer window, the January window, if we can. Let's give it a get creative here. I can't believe what is happening. I mean, we haven't been prolific in front of with goals, but we've sort of been dominating games here. Can we get something going? There's an overlap there for Williams. Can he get a cross in? He goes back for Jones. Jones has a good ball. It's there for Leslie. Leslie brings it down, and Leslie sticks it away. Stephen Leslie's second goal of the season, his first since the first game of the season against the kids, against Cardiff Met Uni. And it's a good ball in, wasn't it, from Jones? And Leslie's there, takes a touch, steadies himself, and sticks it away from quite a narrow angle, actually. He's done quite well to stick that in. But there we go. We've taken the lead. Do we want to change things back? I don't necessarily think we do. Let's start and close it down a little bit. Let's be more disciplined. There's always a chance this could go horribly wrong. We have to go back and undo everything. Let's stick it to defensive. Let's wait and see here. Come on, boys. Can we do something here, please? Molyneux with a decent tackle. We don't get possession back, though. They've got sort of a bit of a man over there. I don't like this, and we've conceded a goal. In the 90th minute, 89th, almost in stoppage time, and that is frustrating. Needless to say, that is extremely, extremely frustrating. And we are, it looks like, going to come back on YouTube and drop our first points of the season against a mob that have not won a game all year. It's a decent tackle there from Molyneux. I think Pearson, didn't he? He got sucked over one. It meant that Hallwood had to come out, and that left his man over. Yeah, maybe we should have stuck the extra man back there in midfield. Jones has not had a good day, has he? He's only played a 6. Yeah, that's not been a classic game for us, unfortunately. We have dropped points. We've dropped them at home as well, which is disappointing. And I'm going to say assertively, that's not good enough, boys. We should have won that game. So there we go. Silly drop points, really. I've never seen us get anxious and nervous like that. I don't really understand why that's happened. There was a professional debut from Williams. I thought he did quite well. Perhaps we should have taken off the centre-back, the lesser Jones, but yeah, kind of is what it is. We're still unbeaten, though. It's still so far been a successful start to the season. Wait right there, guys. We'll be back to face the New Saints. Okay, welcome back. Welcome back. It is time to face the New Saints for the first time in this series. They are the favourites, so their form is inconsistent. They did win last time out, though, a 1-0 win over Cove Rangers. Now, Cove Rangers are not in the league, so I'm not quite sure what that was in. So, league form is still not great, but we've already seen Penybont gave us a game, didn't they? And we were disappointing in that as well. Now, we have tried to fix things up a little bit in training, but unfortunately, we don't have any training sessions, so we weren't able to do that. So, It's frustrating. It's always the frustrating thing about being a semi-professional club. We need to get professional as soon as possible so we can actually work on things in training. Now, we're up against a Scott Roscoe coach team, a standard balanced playing style, and that's all we really know about them. They are going to look to play gegenpress. So, yeah, that just kind of is what it is. Hopefully we can play around them. This is a team we're sending out. We've got a couple of players back fit for this one. So it's Morris in goal. It's Smith coming into play at left back with Jones. Hopefully a much better performance from him. Spittle and Williams will continue at right back. Burke is going in for this one. Molyneux. Grosset comes back in. Yeah, he'll play as just a support role. With Jones and Horwood pushing forward to play further up. And we're going to give Robles a game up front. We didn't see too much from Hayes last time out. So we'll give Robles a go. So we can see that they're lining up exactly the same as Penybont. So that is, well, it didn't bode well. It didn't play well for us last time, did it? Mullins says, encourage the team. Let's go out there and impress me. Yeah, let's go out there and impress me. Some calm faith. And hopefully no anxious players this time, please. Because that was not fun, was it? It's weird playing in the Welsh League and there's no tunnel interviews. I don't think I've had one yet, so you can really see the difference in sort of media coverage. So when you play, what was it? We played A-League, didn't we, in the beta save, and just when we've played previously in the sort of the Premier League. That's a bit of a good turn there. We've let them in down the sides there. Cross comes into the back post. Morris, save us, mate, and it's off the outside of the post. So a little bit of luck there, perhaps. Come on, boys, come on. We go again. It's O'Brien. Can we win this header, please? They get the flick on. We've got time there with Williams. Brings it down nicely. Lumps it forward again. Not really what we had in mind. And we go back to the keeper. And we start again. Yeah, I mean, another home game as well. It would be really disappointing, wouldn't it, to only take sort of, if we were to lose this, 1 point from our 2 home games here. We are still top, as you may have noticed at the first screen there. And that is a header just past the post. And you can already see they want to try and get the ball wide, don't they? So let's defend with a little bit more width and see if that will help. The high line, I don't know if that's actually going to help us here or not. The idea of that is they like to score from crosses according to the scouts. Or the scout, I think we only have... Oh, no, we have 2 scouts now, I think, don't we? So we want to try and stop them from doing that. We've injured a player. Dyson's coming. Now, Dyson, we had the opportunity... Oh, here we go. What's going on here? It's a penalty. It's a penalty. Grosset's got a penalty to take here. I have no idea what's happened there. The director has completely missed it, but we do have a chance here with Denny Grosset to take the lead, and he sticks it away. We're 1-0 up against the New Saints. That's more like it, boys. First goal of the season for Grosset, and let's demand more of that, please, boys. Oh, he's only just... It's not the most convincing penalty we'll ever see, but if it's in the back of the net, it's a good penalty as far as I'm concerned. Jones, again, is not having a good day. He's looking nervous. I don't know what's happened to was it Steve Jones? What's his name? Stuart Jones. Yeah, he's really gone off the boil, hasn't he? Spittle's having a bit of a poor day as well. We do have a training session coming up for next week, and we're just doing defensive work in that one. Things are going well, you're capable of, but I think it's got to be an assertive. Don't get complacent, boys. We haven't played particularly well. Let's not tell a nervous player that he's rubbish. Yeah, we haven't played particularly well here, but we do have the lead. Everybody else looks good. I'm not going to go around telling people that have already responded that they're rubbish. Spittle hasn't responded well to that, has he? Show some passion, boys. Come on. What's happened to my centre-backs? We only have 3 of them, so one of you's got to pick up your game. Spittle's playing the worst, and he's looking apprehensive now as well. We're going to have to make a change there, aren't we? Kelly can come on for Spittle. I mean, these match ratings aren't great, but it's a case of so far so good. Since we have moved to the defend with more width, that has kind of quietened them down, hasn't it? Horwood's having a bad day. What are we doing? Grosset now with a free kick. It's a decent one in there. It's headed away. Jones is there. It's nodded away, only as far as Kelly, though. Kelly loses possession. It's cleared, and are we going to hit on the break? We've got 3 men back. Surely not. What is that defender doing? He's got the turning circle. Oh, Burke. He's supposed to be our captain. He's supposed to lead us by example, and I don't know what he's doing there. He's got cement boots on. He was so slow to turn. Look at this. Look. What is that? I mean, it's like he's playing rugby and he's fallen for a dummy. Goalkeeper couldn't do much about it. It's 1-1. And again, the anxious, nervous players, what is going on with this? Now, what's happening here? We've told him to show some passion. We've got ourselves a corner. It's going to be Grosset again, I'm assuming. He takes all the set pieces. Can we get someone on the end of it? It's a decent ball. It's over the bar from Molino. All right, let's try making some changes here with some players that aren't playing well. We don't have another centre-back. So we're going to have to just live with the anxious-looking centre-backs. Robles isn't doing much up front, so let's make a change there. Horwood is not doing too much as a left further up the field. He's looking apprehensive. Do we just take him? No, he's a better fullback than Smith, so let's make that change. And now, of course, he will mess that up, won't he? We'll put an apprehensive man in the back line. That's what a sensible thing to do is, right? Boys, come on. Let's get creative here. Can we get a win? Can we sneak it late? It's Grosset again over a free kick. He gives me hope. It's a ball away. It's there for Hayes. Hayes! Oh, well, what has he done? Take your time, mate. He's just thrown a boot at it and he's lashed it past the post. And that was a really, really good chance to sneak the 3 points. But we'll take a point, I think, out of the New Saints. It keeps our gap to them. It's not been a classic episode in terms of, look at these match ratings. What is happening, boys? I'm going to be aggressive this time. That's not good enough. It's one of those, the results is decent. A 1-1 draw against the New Saints is a decent result, but those match performances were absolutely horrid. So we do find ourselves top of the table. We've still got, what's that, a 9-point gap now over the New Saints. So silly drop points against Penybont. I mean, you get those through the season, but that's at home. Imagine if we had those two extra points, we'd be 3 points clear. There are some teams here on 10 points with a game in hand. Only one of them can win those. So the worst case scenario, we're still going to be top. We're still going to be a point clear. It just may be there'll be 2 teams there instead of 1. But there we go, guys. That is it for today's episode. If you have enjoyed that, please do hit thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new and just discovering the channel. Please don't be afraid to leave comments. I love the feedback. Let me know what you think of that. A decent draw and a pathetic draw, really, I'd say. Guys, we will be back next time. I think what we'll do is we'll come back for Barry Town. Away from home. That's a top of the table clash right now. And we might come back for Carmarthen Town, is it? So we'll come back for a double header there. So that's all for next time, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. I've been Aussie Villain. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.